Our ancestors have a tremendous amount of trauma and pain that they experience while here. And some of that trauma was passed on to us because we share their DNA. So when you look at Black people and you see the challenges that we're going through, a lot of the physical challenges, a lot of the anxieties that we have, a lot of us can't sleep, all of these different things, is because we share the trauma of what happened to our ancestors along with our own trauma of what we're currently experiencing. And then, and the most glorious thing about all of this is that they're here to help. They're here to help. So whenever we are in doubt about something, or we need assistance, or we're in fear, or we don't know what to do, we can go and ask. But we have to get clear of that pain. And then once we can hear them, then we can ask. You know, we can say if we may need help with a particular Hi guys, Debbie Lively here again from Lively View. Okay, you guys, I just want to get right at it today. So I'm going to invite the ancestors into the room and we're just going to start talking, okay? So just be with me. Let's take a moment to do that. Okay, all right, thank you. And you guys, also, I want to mention that I actually brought a candle here today. I've never done this before, but this is what I do when I invite the ancestors into the room when I'm doing my own meditation. And we're going to talk about the ancestors today. So I thought I'm going to bring my candle today, and so we can, you know, we can be in full effect, so to speak. All right. Okay, you guys, yesterday, or this week, I should say, because I'm not sure when this is going to air. This week I was on African Tigress's show, right? And a lot of you guys came over and commented on my videos and watched them and subscribed. And I just want to, you know, just give you a crazy, crazy shout out and just say thank you so much. I appreciate all the love and all of the support. But you know, as a result of some of the conversations that I had with a couple of people, which I had some incredible conversations and text messages with some brothers and sisters, and it just really fired me up, really. But I want to say that I was going to talk about something else today, but as a result of some of the conversations, not even a result of the conversations, the Divine Spirit just got to start talking to me, you know, over the last 24 hours. So as a result, I've changed the topic, and today we're going to talk about the ancestors, because I'm telling you, they came hard at me, you know, over the last 24 hours and, you know, said some things to me, and I'm going to share some of those things with you today. So that's the topic today, is the ancestors. You know, do you hear them? You know, do you hear your ancestors yet? Because if you don't hear them yet, I guarantee you, you will at some point. If you don't hear them yet, you will at some point. So we're going to talk about them. So my question to you guys, you know, have you ever gone through life or had experiences and situations where you felt like, you know, you have a hunch about something, or a hunch about a particular person or situations? And you know, and when you followed those hunches, it's gone well, right? And then maybe when you didn't follow them, they didn't go so well. Well, I would say to you is that there's a good chance that those hunches, those gut feelings that you're feeling, were your ancestors trying to direct you in a particular path. You may not be at a point where you can hear exactly what it is that they're saying, but they may direct you, because they have plans for all of us. They're here to help all of us, and that's what we're going to talk about. All right, so I'm just going to share you guys a little bit about my story. I've always been an intuitive person. I just came here with a tremendous amount of intuition, and I didn't even know it. I mean, I knew it was intuition, but I guess I thought everybody, you know, moved and grooved and, you know, heard things or felt things like I did, right? And it wasn't until I was much older that I realized, you know, some of us hear the ancestors at different points. Some of us hear them at different degrees. But I was one of those ones that they just, you know, they always direct me from Jump Street. It's just kind of who I am and how I was made, right? But you know, and I've always moved and grooved in life like that, and tried to, you know, follow direction, intuition. Like I said, not always perfectly, but I have, you know, to some degree throughout my life. But I'm gonna tell you, over this last year, and you guys have heard me mention like an awakening with Black people, with African people, who look like you and me. Over this last year, things just blew up, like just got off the chain in terms of the ancestors just reaching out and talking to me and, and telling me what to do and pointing things out to me. I would say it started kind of last year and then into the beginning of this year. And I shared on one other video that I did, called Are You Awakening? I got really, really sick at the beginning of this year, right? I lost my appetite, I couldn't eat, I was losing weight, just lots of different things happening to my body. And I was starting to have all of these dreams. And then within the course of the dreams, ancestors, my grandparents, started to come and talk to me and present themselves to me, right? At first it kind of freaked me out. I thought it was just a dream. But then it kind of went from dream state to actually when I was walking around, I'm hearing, and I know you guys may think I'm woo-woo-woo and I'm crazy, but I'm starting to hear voices and like really firm directions about what I should and should not do. And I'm gonna share with you guys one other thing, and I only shared this with probably my kids and my guy. When this pandemic happened, I knew it was coming down, but I didn't know what it was. And I got forewarning about it, and I'm gonna, read briefly, you guys, what I wrote in my diary, something that the divine said to me. And it was February 20th, and that's before it kind of hit, its height here in terms of Corona. And I remember telling my guy, something is about to happen, and I didn't know what it was. So what I wrote, and it was February 20th, if I could find it. Oh, what I wrote on February 20th, and this was after a meditation, I wrote, "It's about to go down. Put yourself in a good seat and watch. It's about to go down. Put yourself," talking about me, "in a good seat and watch." And then he went on to, Spirit also went on to say, "This is not a good seat." And the way I interpret that, he was talking about America, right? That's what I've got. And this happened February 20th. And like I said, when it happened, I didn't know what it was or what was about to go down. I just knew I was feeling strong. I was very sick. And the Spirit was saying something's about to happen. And then within the days and a couple of weeks, we had Corona, like full blown out Corona. And I thought, okay, this is the real deal. Ancestors speaking to me in the dreams, from my dreams, to like saying, okay, this is Technicolor. We're dealing with this in reality. And from that moment on, I've just really started to take the ancestors at their word. When they come to me and they tell me things that are firm, I try to get on it. I try to listen. I try to adhere, and I don't always do, and I always tell you guys, I don't always adhere to it, but I know it's serious, and I know they're here. And that's what I'm going to share with you guys. I just had some notes about what I want to say. So my first thing, my recommendation to you guys is to know that they are here. Our ancestors are here. And like I said, you can think I'm woo-woo-woo and crazy and anything that you want, but I'm telling you, it's the real deal. They're here and they're real. And something that came, that was presented to me a couple of weeks ago was the pain. Our ancestors have a tremendous amount of trauma and pain that they experience while here. And some of that trauma was passed on to us because we share their DNA. So when you look at Black people and you see the challenges that we're going through, a lot of the physical challenges, a lot of the anxieties that we have, a lot of us can't sleep, all of these different things, is because we share the trauma of what happened to our ancestors along with our own trauma of what we're currently experiencing. So I say all that to say is what they want right now is for us to heal. They want us to heal. They don't want us to carry their trauma and the current trauma that we have. And you might be asking, okay, how can that happen, Debbie? We still have so many challenges going on as it relates to Black people, and we do. But what I would say is, before you can get before you can get from one side to the other side, before you can cross over anything, you have to acknowledge and stand in the place of and be present with what has transpired, what has happened, what pain or whatever drama that's happened in your life. You can't push it down and pretend like it didn't happen. So what they want for us to do is to stand in the pain, to stand in their pain and to stand in our current pain, to kind of lean into it. Or as I like to say sometimes when I'm doing my meditation, I just breathe into whatever pain or discomfort that I may have. And that is what they want us to do. They want us to acknowledge the pain that we have suffered, in this world, as in our current form, as well as the pain that they've suffered. They want us to acknowledge that, because that's the only way we can move through it. Okay? My next point is, once we acknowledge it and we begin to move through it, we can hear them more, because we're not so blocked. We're not as blocked because we can hear them, right? And the most glorious thing about all of this is that they're here to help. They're here to help. So whenever we are in doubt about something, or we need assistance, or we're in fear, or we don't know what to do, we can go and ask. But we have to get clear of that pain. And then once we can hear them, then we can ask. We can say if we may need help with a particular thing. One of the things, you guys, I'm not really a talker. It's hard to believe, but I was never a talker. I was always the shy one. I really was. I'm a writer. I spent my entire life as a writer because I was never one who liked to be in front of the camera. So when I had a divination done, you guys, where I talked to a spiritual advisor, and he told me, okay, this is your meditation. This is what you're here for. And he told me that I was here to speak, and I almost fell out of the chair. I'm like, what? I'm here to speak? I'm not a speaker. That's what I said. I'm like, I'm not a speaker. I was always deemed myself a writer. And you just never know what's inside of you until you start to clear out things and the ancestors start to direct you, and they will tell you what you're here for, right? But I say all that to say, as I'm learning to speak and standing in the courage and being obedient and listen to what they're telling me, I'm finding my voice. I'm speaking all the time. My boyfriend told me, he said, when we first started dating, I didn't know you talked so much. But I'm getting to a place where I talk a lot, right? And it's because that's my medicine. That's what I'm here for. So I don't want to make this video very, very long, because I said I'm going to keep them down, right? But I just wanted to leave you guys with those things. And those are really key things, that they're here, that we share their pain, we share their DNA. They want us to heal and move through this pain, at which time we will be able to hear them, and we will begin to know what we're here for, and they will direct us and help us to be and do the people that, show up and be the people that we need to be. So I'm going to do a part 2 to this, because I have so much more to share about the ancestors, because, they be all over me like white on rice. Sometimes I'm just walking through the house now and I'm having full blown out conversations with the ancestors, and sometimes I'm like, God, I hope ain't nobody recording me, because it gets deep up in my house sometimes in terms of just some of the things that I hear. But I'm not gonna keep you guys. I'm gonna talk about this again, a part 2 to this, more about what we can do to be able to listen. That's probably going to be the next video I do, but I just wanted to share this with you guys, particularly because of like I said, over the last 24 hours, they came at me hard and said, Debbie, you need to talk about this. So that's what I'm doing. So I always end my videos by saying Ashe, and I will talk to you guys next time, and I will likely, continue talking about the ancestors. Okay, thank you guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, okay, so that I can continue to talk. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.